we stopped buying from Iran post the secondary sanctions in 2018-19. Have we talked to the Americans about a possibility of an opening there?
No, I'll tell you something. I used to talk to the Americans in a slightly earlier phase. I'm willing to go public on it. This was during the last phase of the previous administration, and they had we had a backroom channel. Most people know who it was, and he was very active. He was an advisor in the White House. And I used to ask him, how close are you to finally settling the residual issues with Venezuela and Iran? And I think the consistent message from him is we are very close. In fact, when it came to the country you just mentioned, I was told that there was some disagreement on one of the lists that they have on proscribed entities. But after that, other things happened, so one doesn't know. But I am an eternal optimist. No situation ever remains the same. I think with the passage of time, discussions between the international agency which is tasked with dealing with that particular issue, that negotiations will start, and hopefully with the passage of time, that country's energy situation and their ability to supply. By the way, don't make a mistake. They're still supplying. We are not buying. That's one thing. It's not that Iranian oil is off the market. I mean, I come across very interesting situations. I'm not going to name countries where I suddenly find such and such consignment is available from such and such country. So when I ask my secretary and my other colleagues, they'll say कि ये तो उतनी तो उनकी production नहीं है जितना they're putting on the market. So again, I'm saying availability is there all over.
But will we start buying?
I will not buy.
Do you see us start buying?
Look, we are a country anchored in the rule of law. If there is a sanction to which we agree, I mean, anybody gets up and places a unilateral sanction, that's a different thing. I'm not obliged. But if it's a sanction which we've accepted, we will not violate it. On Venezuela, similarly, some people told me, Venezuelan crude can't be bought because it's of a particular kind. I said, look, many of our refineries can use Venezuelan crude. They've been buying, and we are owed some money. But I think even that will be sorted out soon. What I would have difficulty with, ma'am, is to put a specific timeline. When will the Iranian or the Venezuelan issue be resolved?
And to buying from the Western Hemisphere, are we buying 10% of LPG from the US? Can you confirm that?
No, you're buying $15 billion last year. I mean, if you look at the figures in the last few months, there is huge high. I mean, if you interview some of these CMDs, they will tell you, today I read a report, one of them is looking at gas supplies from Alaska. Then I've seen the figures. This $15 billion could be $25 billion. So, but listen, that huge market potential also gives you leverage.
Yeah. So are we buying from the US or not?
Of course we are buying.
10% LPG we'll start buying?
No, I don't know. That I don't know. These are commercial things. Yeah. I mean, I am told on good references that their LPG, their LNG certainly is cheaper because they have that, what is it called, that? Yeah, they know all these technical terms. I tried not to. No, they buy according to thing that's cheaper. LPG we used to buy earlier largely from one source. It is available elsewhere. During the last meeting of the India Energy Week, we signed a LPG agreement with Equinor. Just now when I was in Norway with some of my colleagues, I think they are also in discussion with more LPG. And I'm told, again, they don't come to us because we don't do the buying and selling. Government only sets in with a plan to provide the ecosystem. I'm told a lot of our companies are talking about LPG purchases from there. No, your LPG purchases are quite significant. For a country which is growing at 6.5%, $4 trillion economy, where the rate of growth of energy demand is 3 times the global average, if you were to start buying 10% from a particular source, it would be a lot of, LPG and so on. I think it might happen. Again, it's not for me to say.
Maybe to reduce the trade deficit. Maybe to reduce the trade deficit.
Well, the trade deficit is also, look at other issues involved with the trade deficit. How many Indian students go to the United States? No, I'm just as a guess. How much money do they spend? I mean, I'm past that stage because now I'm at the stage of grandchildren. But people who have children who want to go to the United States, how much does it cost in a elite Ivy League school? $80,000 a year? Yeah. I don't know. I've seen figures of what? $20 billion a year? I don't know. So I don't know how these calculations are done. But believe me, I would be very careful in putting, figures, because there might be other figures available. I mean, here our energy imports are going on, other things are happening. But also you look at the future. Again, I don't want to sound arrogant, but when we moved from being the 5th largest economy to the 4th largest, or when we moved from the 10th largest to the 5th largest economy, whom were we competing against? We were competing against countries which are essentially growing at 2% or less. The UK, Japan, and Germany, which will be if we become the 3rd largest economy soon. And you're growing at 6.5%. So my point is that the other part, your trade partners also look at the potential your market holds for them to increase their exports. And that's, of course, the subject on which you should interview Mr. Goel.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.